in World Financial Group. And organizations, they rise and fail because of leadership. But the leadership here is outstanding. Every day they strive to help you win because their success depends on you. And they want you to win, and they don't want you to make all the mistakes that you make. So I'm sure you have a dream. You know, we all have dreams. But you need the right opportunity to make that dreams happen. Just like this business delivered to me and making all my dreams become true every day. But that's not enough. From one person in this company, Mr. Joe, president of a company, and what he said really impacted me and I apply it every day. He said when he leaves a company, he made sure he leaves the company better than before. And I tell myself, when I meet a person and bring the person in the business, I make him and his life better than before. When I sit down with the family, I leave their financial condition better than before and improve it as I go. And I look at myself, I tell myself, I'm going to be a better person than yesterday. And one day, when I retire from this company, I will make sure I leave this company in a better and bigger position than before. So we all have dreams. Let's make all our dreams come true through this WFG opportunity. See you at the top.
It's your job to keep the energy up. Because remember this, the greatest lessons in life are never taught, they're caught. You know, write this in your notes. WFG is a journey, and it's a journey of beginnings and endings and new beginnings. You know, in the English alphabet, the letter Z means the end. You know why I like the Greek alphabet better? Because it goes from alpha to omega, and omega means new beginning. Who's going to have a better beginning at this event? All right, you're going to get your pens ready. You're going to hear from three powerful leaders. They all have over $1 million base shop. The first one, EVC Alex Flores. You know, Kennedy told me, Alex came to our country from Central America, had very humble beginnings, and he has pioneered many cities in America, and he's one of the main people that introduced WFG to the entire Hispanic market. You really enjoy him. The second speaker is going to be my friend Angelica Haro. And you know what? Angelica is the glue in that Haro team. You know, she's great at building relationships. Remember this, when you recruit people, that's like the brick. And when you build a relationship, that's like the mortar between the brick. And she's a great mother, she's a great wife, she's a great business leader. And then we're going to clean up. The cleanup hitter is going to be Corey Michaud. And you know what? The first time I heard Corey speak was in Toronto, and when he told the story, it really touched my heart. This man has a big heart. But I also want you to know that Corey beat his brother Cameron, the CEO. So Corey's going to give you like $100 for saying that. But you know what? He has a very famous father, but you know why I'm so proud of Corey? Because he's made a name for himself. Now welcome up, EVC Alex Flores.
Introducing Executive Vice Chairman, Alex Flores.
Buenos días, World Financial Group. Mi nombre es Alex Flores. My name is Alex. I come from Houston, Texas. My first event, it was in exactly 10 years ago, 2004. And a lady just approached me, you know, this morning, a young lady.
Oakland Convention.
3 weeks ago. And she asked me this question. Hopefully you can help me answer.
Oh, 他在买单了。
She asked me, how many Latinos in this company. So, so, young lady, you were 3 weeks in the company, you heard the answer now. I think it was about 1,000 maybe, hopefully more, and growing. But I remember my first event, as I said, I remember looking at numbers, I remember seeing Gala night, and I remember there wasn't as many Latinos in that night. And representation, getting any awards. So that was the beginning of my turning point. I made up my mind that one day I was gonna be one of those guys who also, get recognized, who also gets a recognition. And I see last night, I think it was unbelievable to see that, not just me, but many of us getting recognized. And some of you see the number, you heard the number, and it's overwhelming. You're thinking, wow, maybe I can never reach those numbers. But trust me, it's not that difficult once you get into your mind and once you understand what does it take to get to those levels, to get to those numbers. To me, if you go home and really study our business, our system, it's not difficult at all. Let's say you want to have about maybe 500,000 points a month in your team. You technically only need about 100 agents who does maybe 5,000 points each, maybe 5 to 10,000. That can put your business to 500,000, maybe 1 million points a month. So whatever I've done so far, I think is very small compared to the potential, to what was in front of us. That's why when I heard Joe, President, say this is just the beginning. Ahead of us is the best yet to come. So I believe it. I believe it because this company has the right leadership, it has the right system, and the right solution. So there is no way we can lose, but you gotta feel special about it. You just gotta feel, all of you, especially you people, you're here today, and it's up to you whether you want to believe you're here by accident or just because someone brought you and dragged you here, or you're here because there is something special about you, there is something special about your life, your family, and you want to make that happen. When I came here, I decided I was going to stay positive, I was going to stay excited as long as it takes to win. And I did that for 8 years. For 8 years, I never walked the stage, I never got anything, I never got recognized, but I kept coming. And I kept going back and applying everything I listened, everything I learned, I do my best to apply it. And I stay positive. Everybody I talk to, of course, you get negative, you get different stuff. But to me, the negativity, people who promise to do something, they don't do it. People who say they're going to come to convention, they don't come. People who say they're going to get license, they quit, they buy, they cancel, whatever. All of those, to me, are ingredients to build you up. It's part of the process. So there is no reason to feel bad about it. It's supposed to happen. That's the only way you grow, actually. My first convention, I have to eat cold sandwich the whole convention. And I don't really like cold food. But you see, it wasn't that Vegas didn't have food. It's just that I didn't have money to buy food. I could only afford cold sandwich. By the third day, I couldn't eat those, so I just swallowed. I needed to get my stomach full, So I had to swallow the cold sandwich. But that's another turning point, because the way, again, the way I looked at it, I said, well, it's just a small challenge that I know I can overcome. At that time, I only make maybe $9, $10 an hour. Very small money. But I never used that as an excuse not to show up to the event. I always find a way. Today, 10 years later, our best month last year, me and my wife, we cash flow $65,000 in 1 month. That's how much my life has changed. But that's because, of the system. That's because of the company. Trust me, yes, there is something special about us, but at the same time, I don't think there's anything special. It just happens. We show up here, we made a decision, we took notes, we made a plan, and we made a decision to stay. My next turning point is I kept on listening, and I remember, I heard Swan maybe a couple of times, maybe about 20 times, and I finally got, his secret. And I knew that once I know what his secret was, I knew then I was going to make it also. And his biggest secret to me is he's just a hard-working guy. That's really it. There's nothing else to it. You want to make it here, you got to work. You got to really work really hard. As a matter of fact, yes, then his next thing is he has a great heart. He cares for people. So I said, well, I think it makes sense. So if I work hard and I care for people, that's my winning strategy. And that's all it takes. You gotta go to work hard, you gotta really care for people. So every day, this is what I did. Every day, before I leave home, once I went full-time in 2006, March, every day, I got on my knee and prayed before I leave. And I prayed. And I prayed like it was up to God that He was going to make it happen for me. But I went to work like it was up to me. Make sense? The strategy is here. Everything is here. But you have to have the faith and the action. Make this, a very special event. If this is your first time, second time, third time, you got to make a turning point. You got to know that the future ahead of us is really big. Just think about it. When they say 150, listen to me. Because this is big. 150 new earners. You know the way I picture it in my mind? So you mean that in this company, every other day, almost every other day of the year, there is a new person making $100,000? Exactly, that's what it means. And we're ahead right now that every day there will be one new person making $100,000 in this company. The question is that going to be you, the new one, who's going to make $100,000 a year? Make it happen. See you at the top. Thank you.
Introducing Executive Vice Chairman Angelica Barrios.
And I want to share some of those turning points with you today. And I've had many. I'll share a little bit about my background. I come from a big family, 11 brothers and sisters, and my parents migrated here from Mexico a long time ago. We came here to the United States, and of course they were poor. We lived in a 5-bedroom apartment. Yes, all 13 of us lived in a 5-bedroom apartment. Of course, property management didn't know that because we'd probably be kicked out. But there was a significant event that happened to me when I was 8 years old, and I haven't shared this story with very many people, but I remember, and I'm going to get a little bit emotional, but I remember getting off the school bus one day, and when you live in a low-income community, there's all these kids that don't go to school, and I remember these kids running up to me when I got off the school bus and said, Angelica, your mom left you guys, your mom left. And I said, what do you mean? He said, yeah, we saw your sisters chasing her down the street and she left you guys. I'm like, what are you talking about? So I go running into our apartment complex and sure enough, My sisters are crying on one side of the couch, and my dad's crying on the other side of the couch, and I just walk in and I say, please tell me it's not true. My mom didn't leave, right? She didn't leave. Why would she leave us? Why would she leave us? And I just remember my dad hugging me, looking at me in the eyes and saying, I promise that I will never leave you guys, and I promise I'm going to do everything in my power so that you guys have a better life, so that our family moves forward. And you know what? Being 8 years old, it's a little tough to lose your mom. To have her 1 minute hugging you, kissing you, encouraging you, telling you that everything's okay, to not having there anymore. But you know what that did? It didn't bring me down. A lot of people will say, you know what? That's why I'm a failure in life. That's why I'm not as successful. They make things as an excuse, but I made that as an excuse of why I was going to win, why I was going to become somebody big. My entire life, I felt my dad work so hard and sacrifice so much. My sisters, you know, I saw them giving up their careers. One of them was going to nursing school, the other ones were going to cosmetology. They had to get double jobs to make sure that we had food on the table. I saw that hard work around me, and I just said, you know what, man, I want to be somebody big. I'm always going to be a hard worker. And you know, when I grew up, I went to college. I got my Bachelor's of Science in Business, and then I started working for a commercial real estate company. I became a marketing director there. Then I went off and I found mortgages, and man, I thought, man, this is it. I started making close to $1 million a year in mortgages, and being in your mid-20s, that's actually pretty good. So I thought I was going to be able to retire my dad with that. I started purchasing a bunch of real estate, and unfortunately the market dropped, and I wasn't able to do that. Thank God somebody spoke to me about WFG. I started the business in February of 2008, and I remember the guy that brought us into the business. His name is Randy Sicaros. I remember him sitting my sisters and I down and saying, you guys have to attend this convention that's going to happen. It's in March. Back then conventions were in March. You guys have to attend it. There's so many great speakers, but there's one speaker in particular that I want you guys to listen to. He has an amazing story. He's a great talker. He's a little arrogant, but he's great. But I want you to listen to him. He's one of the top Latinos right now in the company. His name is Guillermo Haro. And you know what? Sure enough, 2008 changed my life forever. I came to that event, and a lot of you guys are sharing these emotions. You come to these events, and you're excited, you're fired up, you cry, you laugh, you get some anger built inside of you because you have some competitive edge that it should be you getting recognized. And sure enough, I went to that event, and there was a lot of great speakers, but there was one speaker that impacted me and that hit home. And that was Guillermo Haro. I remember my sisters and I were in the back of the room, and we were crying when he was sharing his story. He talked about walking into someone's home where his mom was on her knees cleaning somebody else's toilet, and he said, damn it, that's not going to happen anymore. And that he went out there and retired her. That one Mother's Day, he was able to bring a white truck with a big red bow on it, and he brought it to a Mother's Day event, and she fainted of the excitement and how excited she was that he was able to do that for her. I remember WFG doing a magazine spread on his home, that he had purchased a dream home. It was just, he talked about being from Zacatecas, Mexico, being born on a dirt floor with no college education, but that he had found a company that was able to allow him to fulfill some of his dreams. It was just awesome. I was so inspired, and I went back after that event. I already believed in WFG. My first PM that I went to, I fell in love. I knew that the mission was there. I knew that what we did, families needed it, but it was that event that changed and made my decision to plant my flag. I became a broker, a senior marketing director 4 or 5 months after that event. And you know what's so awesome? That I was able to sit my father down and say, you know what, Dad, all those hard years that you worked, you know that mortgage that you pay, those bills that you pay every single month, you no longer have to pay that because I really found a business that's going to allow me to retire you. Every month since that day, I've been able to send my dad a retirement check. You know how great it is not to have a dream come true, for it not to be a dream no more, for it not to be a wish and a want and a goal, but to achieve it. That's what this company does. You know, I'm blessed. At that same event, I was also able to meet Guillermo Haro for the very first time before I was Mrs. Haro. And man, he tried courting me. He set his eyes on me, and he followed up. And he'll tell you that him and I were going to take. And I just couldn't imagine going on this trip without my son, so we looked into it, and it was going to be about $10,000, an additional $10,000 to take him and a nanny. But because WFG has taught us how to save money and not spend our money foolishly, live a good life, but save a lot of your money, we were able to do that without a problem. And I'll end with this. Coming back from Brazil, I hadn't prepped for my talk for convention. I was really nervous, and so Valentino was sleeping. He was sleeping on my lap. And I was going to start writing my talk, and I turn around to him and I say, thank you. Thank you for never quitting. Thank you for the life that we have. Thank you for building a big organization. Thank you, and my lab for ingraining in you. Build a team, Gene. Don't be a personal producer. Recruit a monstrous team. Thank you, Ed, for having that talk with him at Carol's that changed his life. And you have changed your life, and I'm so blessed. I'm the happiest I've never been. Let me tell you something. I can't guarantee you anything in this business. I can't guarantee that you're going to be successful. I can't guarantee anything, but I could guarantee you one thing, that if you quit, your dreams will never come true. I'll see you guys at the top.
Introducing CEO Marketing Director, Corey Michaud.